What's up, guys? Gabriel back here to talk about how complicated we can make stuff. I just think we as people can just make things way more complicated than they really are. And I'm just speaking out of just a general, concept. I think we make life a lot harder than it seems to be. I think we make answers and questions and solutions and problems a lot harder than there really are. And I just want to address the whole simplicity of life, and I think the whole simplicity that God intended life to be like. Because whenever stuff happens to us, we seem to make it a lot larger than it really is, a lot more complicated, when really most of our life has been answered for us. There's only just a small portion that God leaves for us to figure out. And that's what makes the adventure. So I describe it as there's three questions in life. There's going to be what, why, and how, for the most part, for when stuff happens to us. And we generally know two out of the three. So what, I failed my test. What, my parents got a divorce. What, my girlfriend left me. What, my boyfriend left me. What, dog died. That's, we get that what. Then the second question is why. Why did it happen? And we usually tend to make it some bigger than life thing. We're like, why did this happen to me? Why did my girlfriend leave me? Why did my boyfriend leave me? Why did my parents get a divorce? Why did I lose my job? And the simplest answer is, it happened to glorify God. And even another answer to that, it happened for your benefit. Because the Bible talks about, to paraphrase and put into Gabriel terminology, all things work together for good for those who love God. And if you love God, God can turn any situation, situation, the reason for it, He can turn it for you. So the why is already answered in us and in Him, to glorify Him and then to work for our good. So we already know that. Some of us try to get the exact reasoning and how is it, blah, blah, blah. And that's, like I just said it, that's how the third question comes into play. How? How is it going to glorify God? How is it going to be for my good? And see, that's where the two out of the three come into play. See, our life is kind of like a giant pathway, and God lights it enough to kind of know in the direction that we're going in and to know what's going to kind of be happening and where we're headed, but He leaves it just dark enough so that we can rely on Him for every step. That's kind of how I relate it to when the Bible talks about the Bible is to paraphrase, is a lamp to our feet and a light unto our path. And sometimes we make it way more complicated. We make God seem like He's a God that He's omniscient and omnipotent, but He's going to make us wait for every single little thing. A God that first makes us have to do something first, then for us to get it. When He's a God that did everything before we were even thought about, created the world and had everything planned out to the T and gave us everything from the beginning. As soon as we became saved, we had all the tools to create everything worth our life to glorify God. And we sometimes think that we have to wait around and God, and the God that I know is a pretty awesome God, and He's a pretty green light go God. That's the God that I've come to know. He's a lot about just go ahead and get it. We just tend to make this whole life, this time that we've been given here, a lot more complicated than it needs to be. God has set up a whole bunch of green lights for us that we're sitting on waiting just to get the confirmation. We're blocking our vision and it's green in front of us. We're like, God, we just want to make sure it's green, right? Right? And we're sitting here waiting when we just need to take and go and just glorify God while we're doing it. He's already given you the what. He's already given you the why. Now go ahead and find out the how. You don't need to know how it's going to be the how. Just find it out. Just go ahead. Trial through fire. And I want to bring that little simplicity. I think we sometimes complicate it way more. So I just encourage you to go get it. Whatever it is. No matter how hard, no matter how painful. You know the what. You know the what, it happened. You know the why. It's to make you better and it's to bring Him glory. So go ahead and find the how. I encourage you guys to push forward. And you guys to stay beautiful. And I love you guys. And you guys are worth it.